Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back with I Still Call It a Lariat, and this is the review of Bash in Berlin. We have a incredibly special guest today. We have Hound with us. Say hi, Hound. And there's absolutely... Oh, sorry, continue. Of course, always a pleasure, and there's absolutely nobody else we need to introduce on this show. I'm just kidding, Steven. I'm just kidding. And everyone, as always, my tag team partner is here with us. Steven, how you doing, bud?
What's up, Showtime? Glad to see that we're going to review the Bash in Berlin.
Yeah.
In Berlin.
I wish I knew any other word, but a 9, because that would have been the opposite, because we are actually going to review this.
We are.
We are. It's just, I don't know what yes is in German. Like it's what I got. I will say one of my favorite parts of this show while watching, the crowd was obviously on fire. It was absolutely fantastic. But when they were doing the 2 counts, it's like, ein, zwei. All I could think about is cool runnings. That's all I had.
Yes. Which is funny because we keep quoting like cool runnings, and we've been quoting it for months anyway. But I just keep doing Euro trip. Berlin. I'm never going back to Berlin.
Because after they do the 2 count, all I could hear is feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, get on up, it's bobsled time. Which no one does. I don't understand. Isn't that like 1, 2? Whatever. It doesn't matter. Ryan Svein? Is that? I'm probably saying it wrong.
Eins, zwei.
Eins, zwei.
Say that. I have no idea. What do I know? Hey, this is America. It's exactly how I say it goes.
Yeah, just like Gunther's from Germany.
He's not from Germany. That's the one thing I will. There's a line. Man's Austrian.
Just
right.
Just like there's a line. There's a certain line you don't cross, and Bronson Reed crossed it when he destroyed R-Truth.
How dare you bring that up? You know I'm still a little emotional about that. But Braun Strowman can come back after getting crushed in a car the next week. Malarkey, if you ask me. But we're getting on a tangent. We get all excited when we have a special guest, and there's a few that are as special as Hound. So let us kind of get back into this, because I cannot wait to talk about our picks from Bash in Berlin. Let's start with number 1, with the Unholy Union versus Bianca and Jade. Hound, what'd you think of this match? I want to kind of get your thought process first.
Well, I thought anybody who had a brain realized this would be the only title change that occurred on an international PLE. You have essentially 2 physical manifestations of goddesses in Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They're genetic freaks, versus a pair of champions who the entire time it was like, well, why? And none of this adds up.
Because someone had to win in Scotland.
Someone Scottish needed to win in Scotland.
I mean, that is true. Yeah, they did.
Which I called that one, actually. I picked that.
Also, Hound is in love with Jade Cargill.
I do. Jade Cargill, Bailey. Yeah, it happens.
Yes,
it happens.
Sue me.
Actually, I really liked about this match is I really liked the dynamics of the Unholy Union. Really cutting the ring in half, bringing that ring psychology in. It was kind of cookie cutter, formulaic, in honesty, but I really liked how they leaned into it. And there was moments in time where you kind of thought there could be a chance that they would win this, even though they were completely outmatched. Steven, any thoughts on this one before we get into, I think, shame.
All the shame. All around, I thought the match was good. I thought everybody looked good in this. I thought like they performed well. I do agree. I like that Unholy Union did their best to cut off the ring and things. They did the traditional heel tag team move. So I like that. I just sit in the corner. I sit in the penalty box and I feel shame.
Well, for those that listen, we can cut to the chase here because I cannot wait to make fun of Steven on the most predictable show ever, and in the most predictable match. We actually probably should have gone around this a little bit different, but I couldn't wait to jump in and make fun of Steven for this. Where I picked, of course, like probably 99.9% of the universe chose Bianca and Jade. And Steven chose the Unholy Union in the wrong show because you didn't pick them last time when they did win. But you decided to double down and pick them this time to actually pin the champions when there wasn't an excuse.
You done yet? You done?
No, there's more. There's more.
Oh, wait. There's more.
Oh, but wait. There's more. No, as you know, I thought this was a good match. I think this gets Jade and Bianca right back to where they need to be, which is dominating this division. I really want to see them go up against two people who can actually give them a run for their money. Like, I would love to see Jade and Bianca versus like Tiffany and Nia. I know Nia's wearing her own gold, but have like a pair of people who you actually think could go toe to toe with these two, because the people that they're throwing at them is just like fodder.
I agree. Maybe Piper and Chelsea. Maybe.
You know, I could see that.
Only because of Piper. Like, Piper can definitely even the odds on the strength and stuff like that, and then Chelsea can do the strategic stuff.
You know, I really think after the Money in the Bank, they could have done something with Chelsea and kind of made her, even keep her as jobbery as she is, but like showcase her a bit more. Like, in my mind, I don't know if there's anyone who maximizes 2 minutes of screen time better than Chelsea does. And but yeah, like that might be a good person to put in there, but like all of the other women kind of are floating around. I know Damage Control, it seems like the ones that are going to come for these belts next. You know, I haven't heard anything. What's going on with Asuka?
Asuka, I know she's still hurt, but she just got she just extended her contract.
Because I would like the real Damage Control tag team to come back here.
But Unholy Union also just won a number one contenders match for a rematch.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, so
I haven't caught up on Raw yet.
So they're the next ones going after this right now.
Cool, because we need to see that
Bad
again.
Blood. What? In case anyone missed it.
No, I'm just trying to like what match at Bad Blood makes this worth watching again? Hound. If you're going to put a stipulation on this rematch, what are you doing? And it can't be a Hell in a Cell, because I think we're getting that with CM Punk and McIntyre. But if you had to put a stipulation on this match, what are you doing?
It's an interesting question. It's something I really hadn't thought of prior to now. But you know what? It would be fun because this actually makes it more believable if you did want to get the titles off of Jade and Bianca and maybe start the feud with them too, because I think we're going to head towards there. Tables match. You can have something where one slips and falls through a table. You know, slips on a banana peel, and you can have the titles. It's a legitimate win, but you know, it's the whole,
you just need to push them off with something.
Oh, bananas.
Bananas.
Actually, I wouldn't have gone there, and I'm just going to say mine because I think that's the perfect answer. That's great. Those two would be great. And even if they keep the titles, I can see them absolutely smashing the crap out of the Unholy Union through tables.
Yeah.
But let's just keep it there. There's no need for any ladders. There's no need for any chairs. Tables is the stipulation. Let
the tables be the gimmick.
So I got overexcited to just really shame Steven. Shame. So let's go actually to the beginning of this card. And let's talk about the WWE Universal Title. Undisputed Universal Title? There's a lot of words.
I think it's just the WWE Undisputed Championship now. Like, I think they cut the Universal out of it.
You're suspect, Steven. We had Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. Steven, what are your initial thoughts on this one?
I was excited about this match going in. I'm still happy with this match. I thought this was, as much as I like what they did. I wanted to see full heel Kevin Owens. I wanted to see pop-up power. I said this when me and Hound were talking earlier. I wanted to see pop-up power bombs onto the ring apron. I wanted to see all of just I wanted to see him put a figure four on him around the ring post, all the stuff. I wanted to see him just destroy Cody, even if Cody was winning.
I wanted to see something. Like just anything if I could. This was a good match. I really liked it. Like, I was surprised that he had like a real wrestling match to start this whole show off. It was a little slow, but it was good. It was meticulous. It was like you could see all the intention that was going into the two of them. I just don't know what they're gonna do with Kevin after this, with him losing to another world champion. He has all that fire. He just has nowhere to direct it. Hound, what do you think on this match?
So, Kevin Owens is one of my favorite wrestlers, but I can't remember where I heard this report, but I distinctly heard it. I've heard that Owens himself is saying, I don't want the top title anymore. Because let's face it, he's closer to the end than the beginning. And I think he's one of those, I think he's a person who, in the right moment, is going to go out on his back to pass a torch, if you will. And I think part of that is he's going to kind of be like a Jake the Snake Roberts. Can you work a program with this gentleman? If you can, cool, you should be totally fine to work with Cody or whomever it happens to be. Who takes the title off Cody in the end.
Yeah, I love that. I just want to see, like, the problem with that is if he's always working with like developmental talent or people who are just about to like cross the threshold, and he's always losing, there's no suspense. There's nothing that comes out of it. So I love what you're like, the sentiment of what you're saying, because he's the perfect person to do what you're saying. I just think right now they're not using him in a way where you would ever expect him to win a big match.
Again, we said it about Pac. Like, that was the problem with Pac, is he was, and when me and Hound spoke were talking before, that was kind of the problem with, we kind of compare all these guys now to, honestly, before he left the WWE, Nick Nemeth. Dolph Ziggler, for as prodigiously talented as he was never a threat for any of the titles because he always lost. And if you always lose, you always think he's the guy's going to lose. Like, there's nothing that makes me believe that he's going to do that. I've also heard that Owens' contract isn't extended at all. There's been reports that when they interviewed him, he said the only thing different about my contract is that there's less time on it. So I don't know. That doesn't mean that he won't extend. I'm looking it up now. He is 40 years old, and he's been doing this for a minute. So this might be like kind of how Hound said, he is closer to the end than he is to the beginning. He might be, who knows, maybe he's looking to transition to something behind the scenes, be a trainer or something like that.
That'd be cool. What I would like to see in like one last hurrah, now that some other things may have happened on this card, that I don't want to spoil the ending until we get there. But I would love to see a tag team title run with him and Orton. They had that fun. They have a fun dynamic together, particularly in the build to WrestleMania when they faced off against Logan Paul, where they're cruising around in golf carts and shit. Like, those two guys just having fun going after the bloodline could be some good TV. Kind of elevate that storyline a little bit, because I feel like that's fallen to the wayside a bit. I think that could be fun.
And it would probably elevate the tag team titles too.
Yep. Hound, what did you think about the tension at the end of this match, where you kind of had like, you thought Kevin Owens was going to go after the leg, and then he wouldn't, and then he got all moany about Cody. Are you all right? I'm all right. I'm all right. Well, was that tension good enough for you for this match to kind of bring it on home?
What I would really like that to be, because I would love nothing more than that to lead to, like, I've turned over a new leaf, like the story of the Frog and the Scorpion. And, Frog helps Scorpion cross the river. Scorpion stabs him. It's like, well, why would you poison me? Well, it's in my nature to do that. I would love for everybody to believe Owens has turned over this new leaf, and he's going to be happy, fun-loving, panda bear-loving Kevin Owens. And turns out the entire time he's been, the most dangerous creature there. I would love nothing more than for that to happen. I have some other thoughts on it, but to echo what you were saying earlier, we need to get through some other things for me to bring them full circle.
We'll come back. And before we leave this match, I do have to say, I think the least protected finisher move in all of wrestling has to be the crossroads.
The worst finisher ever. It never works.
Like, that wouldn't put me down. Like,
Roman said it. He's like, of course this didn't work. This move sucks.
When he said that in the match at WrestleMania, it was maybe the highlight of WrestleMania. It's like, I was like, this move sucks. That was the best. But it is. He hit 7 of them? No, 6 of them? I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. His finisher isn't the crossroads anymore. Now it's 3 crossroads at the same time.
He hit 2 in a row. Owens no-sold it, stunned him, and then got caught with another one afterwards. Like, what are we doing here, guys? I'm curious what you guys think, since I brought that up. What's the most protected finisher in WWE right now?
I'm glad you said WWE, not pro wrestling, because it's not.
Nope, just WWE.
Used.
We're talking. This is the PLE edition here.
RKO. I'm gonna go RKO right now.
I have a different answer. I'm gonna let Hound go first.
Oh, I'm torn. I'm torn a little bit.
Tell us. Talk to us.
I don't think any finisher is truly protected. The one I've seen with the most keeping somebody down rate, even if it is 2 or 3 of them, is the Claymore.
Claymore?
Okay.
I think there's one move that I don't know if I've seen anyone kick out of in a long, long time. And it's in the most unlikely of persons, and it's the haluva kick.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no one kicks out of the haluva kick.
Oh, no, that actually reminds me. No one kicks out of the haluva kick, and the other one, believe it or not, is Liv's finisher, Oblivion.
Interesting.
She when Rhea kicked out at SummerSlam, like, that was the first time anyone has ever kicked out of that.
Now, I appreciate a good finisher that's protected.
Wait, I know the one. It's Baron Corbin's finisher. That's actually one that's extremely protected.
Actually, yeah, because he says he won't let you kick out of it. I've talked to Corbin about this. He says, I don't care what you do, I don't kick out of their finisher, and they don't kick out of my finisher. And I appreciate that. It's one of those things where he's like, he talked to me once about his match with Cena, and he was like, so what do you want to do? He's like, I want to keep it in the ring, and I don't want you to kick out of my finisher. He said, okay.
Yeah, that's dope. Though, in order to have it be one of the most protected finishers, you actually have to be on TV from time to time. They have absolutely no idea what to do with him.
No, they're teaming him with Apollo Crews now.
What are we doing? You could have just done that with Braun. Braun Breaker and him, that was a fun tag team that everyone wanted to see. And they're like, it's cool. We'll just split you guys up on different brands. That'll never come back and kick us in the ass. I think I have this order right. The next one was Street Trash versus the Terror Twins. Am I allowed to say Street Trash? Is that not okay? Sorry.
I don't know. I think they're still technically the Judgment Day.
The Judgment Day. Well, I mean, come on, they made merch.
Judgment Day trash.
Sure.
Street Day.
This is another one that I could have sworn was one of the most obvious finishes humanly possible. And though apparently, not that I was alone on it, but there was another side to choose, poorly. But let's get into this. I actually think that this might have been the most fun match of the night for me. Like, I don't know if it certainly wasn't the best match of the night, but it was the most fun. I'll tell you, Mommy was fantastic. She was playing herself at 11 the whole time. and I was there for it. I thought she overshadowed Damien a little bit. Not in a big way, but her personality completely just took over the ring.
Oh, absolutely.
Parts. Like she was just oozing charisma that whole time. And Liv and Dom they're doing their best. Liv and Dom, they were so outmatched in this, and no matter how much I cry for Dom to like start winning and like just like he has such nuclear heat that if he started to win legitimately, people would be so angry. Like that's the next step.
They'd be so mad.
Like if he goes over on Damien clean, like everyone would lose their freaking minds.
Oh my god, they would be so mad. Who was it? Busted Open? Dave LaGreca actually goes, I'm kind of starting to side with Dom on this one a little bit. I think I was like, I mean, yeah, I hear you, but
it's because everyone listens to the show. They get it. Like I think Solo is a good guy right now. He was promised the head of the table once Roman leaves, and now he's the asshole. Like I don't get it. Dom, he was just a little toy for mommy, and now he's standing up for himself. Drew McIntyre. Let's not get started there, because Drew McIntyre is the face. Like all the actions that CM Punk has done from day one, like even the end. Like we'll get to it. I have gripes with the end of that match too, but all of these people, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills half the time. Hound, what do you think about this match?
I thought it was the feel good moment of the show. I thought it was very predictable that this was coming.
Super predictable.
And all right, I get it. I'm wrong.
So,
Jesus.
So when Steve and I were speaking earlier, I mentioned something about Damien and Rhea. Both of them at all times are viable threats for the singles title for any brand that they're on at all times. Mm-hmm. The thing that I love most about what's happening with them right now is, and I think it gets lost oftentimes, they're having fun. You can tell this is them having a blast, and I think it's rejuvenating them because the Judgment Day, while it was cool, it was, but at some point I kind of got over the whole wallet chain phase of my life, and Judgment Day didn't. So I'm happy that at least those two have moved past it. And Rhea Ripley is just a star, and Damian Priest has the makings of being a star. It's a shame he's in his 40s already, though. I wish he had another 5 years to give, more than he'll have.
I mean, the new WWE, he might. The way that they work this. Kakoa told me that when I had asked him a question, like, so what do you think your legacy is? He's like, I'm not like this day and age. I could be 60 and still be out there in great shape, still looking in the prime,
still looking like Ricky Steamboat.
Like if you look at like Billy Gunn right now, like
Billy Gunn's 60 and he looks better than he did at 30.
Yeah, and like he was like, completely if you remember, natural. Like at the same age, like
completely natural.
At the same age, like Duggan was like was all kind of in a very different form at the same time when we were growing up.
Duggan was on different all natural substances,
right?
If by all natural,
listen, it's derived from a plant.
It was raised in Colombia.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Steven, the big build to this was keeping Dom away from Rhea over and over and over again. Finally, they get locked up. Are they building to what I think they're building to here?
I think so. I think we're getting. I think we're going to get a Rhea Dom match, which leads to Rhea Liv title match.
Mm-hmm. And Rhea squashes him, right?
Or do we get Dom winning the women's title?
Yes. Go full Kaufman, intergender.
Full Kaufman. If women can win the women's title, I think men can win the women's title.
I mean, it's only fair.
Equal rights. Wait, we're trying not to get canceled, right?
It reminds me of the Parks and Rec thing. It's like, it's been really hard for us for a very short amount of time.
I I see what you're saying with the Dom and Rhea thing. So this is me going into my kind of nerd bag a little bit here, and I think the crescendo to this story is a lot like if anybody listening has ever read or watched One Piece. The end of every major thing is always the protagonist, Luffy, over top of whatever he's fighting, raining down one of his giant punches. I think the end to this story is they're chasing Rhea hitting the Riptide on Dom, and that's going to happen at one of the big four, and that's going to put it to bed, is going to be the big Riptide, and hopefully it's Rhea hits him so well with it, and Dom sells it so well that he poops himself. It would be perfect.
He would do that. He is absolutely bad. I think he is so undercredited for his in-ring ability.
Yeah, and as
she's going to hit him with it so well his mustache falls off,
or his mullet extensions.
I still think that there might be mullet extensions.
It's natural.
It's so feathery.
I love Dom. I wish I was Dom right now.
Yeah, we were saying that like I wish I was 15 years ago. I wish I was Dom. Like Hound said, could you imagine when he shows his grandkids hey, just so you know, Grandpa
was the shit.
Shit. Look, these are my girlfriends, and this is Grandma.
And is he still going to be burying Ray? Man, great granddad was deadbeat.
Yeah, was a deadbeat.
I hope
the reason why you don't talk to great grandpa is because he's a piece of shit. I thought he was dead. Yeah, he's still a piece of shit.
Living. Kayfabe lives.
I love it. God, I love it.
For what was probably my favorite match of the night, we have McIntyre and CM Punk in a strap match. Sorry. Let me before I go away. Steven, who'd you pick in that last match?
Yeah, I know. I was wrong. Okay, I picked Liv and Dom.
It was so clearly going to be the Terror Twins, but whatever. Okay, I won't beat a dead horse, but you were wrong.
You are. But you did.
But you were wrong. Sorry, that's on you. That wasn't me. Looking at this, I got every one right on this PLE. And I was even able to catch myself before I said the wrong thing. So the next match was Drew McIntyre and CM Punk in a strap match. Hound, I'm really curious. I love a unique match, and not that this is unique, but you haven't really seen a good strap match in a minute. What do you think about the setup for the strap match and kind of how this is all going?
So I'm kind of two minds with this. I love the idea of having to touch the four corners to end it. But at the same point, we also had steel cage matches where you had to escape. And then it turned into escape or pinfall or submission. And the fact that you had an actual submission in it too, I thought that was a little bit overkill in the match. But I love the fact that they did stick to the four corner thing. I just wish they... And I understand the story dynamic of it, torturing somebody who has tortured you. And yes, I'm glad that I am ripping apart your knee and your lower back right now. This is for you stealing my bracelet. The whole nine.
Bracelet.
It's a non-factor now.
Yeah, I mean, it was the second most prized item in WWE behind a necklace until then. But I thought it was I understood the story behind the excessive amounts of go-to-sleeps. I understood all that. And clearly this was another one where it was very obvious that this was CM Punk's get back. Because you can't have Drew go up 2-0 because they have to 50-50 book until a blow-off.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a minimum 5-match series.
Was that your blow-off sound effect? That was great.
Yes.
But yeah, it's. I thought it was well done. I thought it furthered the story, and I've never been the biggest CM Punk fan, but to quote the crowd, you still got it.
He's looking good out there too. I will say my biggest gripe of this whole match is the fact that why was Drew McIntyre the red light and CM Punk was the green light. Like that made no sense to me whatsoever. Like McIntyre was even wearing green in this thing, and CM Punk. It honestly really confused me at first, being like, "What are we doing here?" But not to say I'm curious, Hound. I just want to go back to one more thing you said there. The sharpshooter was a little overkill, but the 87 go to sleeps at the end wasn't overkill.
I know. I said that was. I understood the story behind it, where it's like this is emphatic. This is this. It's like the story is, I'm putting this to bed, literally, and figuratively by putting you to sleep here for the 912th time in a row. Last time I checked, if you're playing a wrestling video game, you get penalized points for that, for doing the move too many times in a row. But
not CM Punk, because he could do no wrong. Steven,
he's the heel.
He's definitely the heel.
CM Punk's a bastard.
Such a jerk.
The good guy doesn't do his finisher move 87 times just because it's fun. That's not how it works. Steven, what was your thoughts on this match?
I went into this match thinking I was going to love this match, and I did love this match. Like this, we talked about this a lot of times, and I think all three of us are kind of under this impression. We don't normally lean into the ultra violence, but this was a match where it was set up to be ultra violent, and like we knew it walking in, and we also knew walking in, like, for as much violence as they did and as much as they beat on each other, it wasn't like a train wreck. Like we didn't have Jamokin. We had
no Jamokin.
We had a very concise story being told the whole time. Everything made sense. Nothing was dumb. Nothing was silly. Like, yes, the 9 million go to sleep was excessive, but it didn't not make sense in that way. Like, it's too much. It was overkill. But him hitting, if he had hit, I don't know, 5, let's say, I would be like, all right, yeah, I get it. Like,
I think that's what wasn't it 5?
I think so. What was it, 5?
I think it was actually 5. Yeah.
If he had hit like 1 for each corner, even, like, I could have seen that. And like I said, it was just overkill. But other than that, the rest of the match was kind of perfect. It was exactly what I said it was going to be. I said that I said when we previewed this that this gave me Greg Valentine, Roddy Piper vibes. I think they did this because they can't do a dog collar yet, because even that's a little too much for WWE.
Yeah, this has nothing on the dog collar match. It was good. It definitely gave those vibes. I will say the one, like, before I say what I'm going to say, I really like this match. I think it was the best match of the night. I think these two guys can do no wrong right now. I think they have one of the best storylines going on. Like, everyone is in on it. Like, everyone's on their feet. I wish they would have gotten a little bit more creative with the strap. I don't need any other things, but like CM Punk did it for a second where he like wrapped around the ring post and pulled him into it. I would have liked to seen the strap used in creative ways other than just whipping someone in the back, which, you get that out of the way so you get those marks on someone's back, and then we can kind of just work a match. I really liked Drew coming out and like jumping CM Punk in the beginning, because he's been jumped so many times, because CM Punk's the heel, and but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that, using that strap to like whip people into the barrier. When someone's going for it, like really taking them off his feet more. I think you could have done more with the strap, and I think there was a lot left on the table on that front.
So I noticed this about 3/4 of the way through the match too. I think the strap was ill fit.
Yeah, it was just like a slide on.
Well, if you look though, it kept falling off of CM Punk's wrist, specifically CM Punk's wrist. Probably
his baby wrist. Does he have tiny hands? He have tiny hands.
Like, small hands. Smells like cabbage.
But you're right. It did. It kept falling off him throughout the match. And they had to like, oh, put it back on quick.
Yeah.
But not to beat another dead horse, because you were wrong before. But you could have used the straps a bit more. It would have been like, it would have made it more of a centerpiece of it. And And I had no problems at all with them like not going for the corners and wanting to beat each other like at certain parts. Like when CM Punk decided not to hit the corner. I get that aspect. Though I was surprised on the one moment where they were touching the corners at the same time, because that wasn't all that clear. I would have assumed that the other light would have went off when someone else touched.
So that's an old school spot. Jim Cornette brings this up. He said that they did that once where it's supposed to be like, oh, you each touch all three, and like that was the difference. Is CM Punk hit like 5 go to sleeps, like whoever did it originally hit like one quick finish and then hit the last spot real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually them doing an old school spot that just no one's seen in a while.
Cool. Yeah, well, that one surprised me because it wasn't explaining the rules that way in the beginning. I probably would have liked it finished that way, though it wouldn't have been as definitive as being killed to sleep or whatever you want to say. Which you guys have anything else for that match?
No, I'm good on that one.
Good. All right, let's go to the main event. We have the Viper, Randy Keith Orton versus Gunther.
Nice German boy.
Yeah, it's not German. Steven, thoughts?
Jesus. They hit each other hard. Gunther hits people hard.
I think I lost the over-under.
For the chops?
Mm-hmm.
What was it? We said 5.5, right?
5.5.
Yeah, you lost that one.
Yeah.
Although your reasoning behind it was pretty sound.
Yeah.
Randy Orton doesn't like to take those chops. And he's Randy Orton.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't really hit. I think he was under 5.5 in the first match at King of the Ring.
I think so. But Gunther's the champion in this one, so he's got to take it to him this time.
Sure. So what do you think, Steven? What was it?
I don't know. What
They're always listening. So, Steven, what were your thoughts overall for this match?
I thought it was good. I thought this was exactly the match we needed to cement Gunther as
the
again.
One that they never gave Damien?
Yeah, basically do everything that they didn't do for Damien. Because Damien, Swerve, mid-card champions, even though they're not mid-card champions, world heavyweight champions.
Swerve was handled much better than Damien. Hound, what were you thinking? What do you think about this match? How did it come off? What are your initial reactions?
Well, again, I thought this was a very predictable PLE, and
me too.
The takeaway from this match for me, and I don't know if I'm alone on this out of the three of us, but to me it showed me that, in my opinion, Gunther is the perfect wrestler. The fact that everything started with that, I believe it was his right hand or his right wrist, whatever he sold early on his pain, down to every move, everything, even him hitting a move and going, and then being like, as he came up, showing that the whole time. It showed why Randy Orton is who Randy Orton is. And it made that world title legitimate. Not that Damian Priest didn't make it legitimate, but I mean, it's Gunther. He'll never look right without a title at this point. Unfortunately, he's got the Hogan thing. Like it's like, well, why don't you have a belt? That's not right. So, but he's, in my, listen, I'm a big dumb idiot, and I like big dumb idiot hit hard things. So the Gunther's right up my alley when it comes to that. But yeah, I fully believe we have Gunther as world champion all the way through WrestleMania, probably until next year's SummerSlam.
It's a long run.
He doesn't have short runs. 66 days with the Intercontinental, and then over 2 years with the NXT UK title.
Yeah, and you're not wrong. I think that they will keep this belt on him forever. One of the things, the way you were explaining Kevin Owens earlier, around this is who you've always been, and then like he releases the Scorpion. That's Randy Orton for me. It's a viper, not a scorpion. They both either bite or sting or poison the frog. Cause even at one point he does the eye poke and just kind of like, sorry guys, like know who you're in the ring with. Like,
well, and that goes back to what we were discussing earlier with the whole what happens with Kevin Owens thing. I love Kevin Owens' menacing side when he does turn, because he is like a giant cuddly idiot. Like, you kind of want to give him a hug until he gets the whole "I'm turning on you" look, and then it's like, all right, oh my God, I'll hug you from 50 feet away. Like, stay away now. But
He's got that scary face, like you said.
I want to see. I think Orton's the one to take the belt off Cody, and
really,
I do, and I want to see before that happens or when it happens. I kind of want Orton to turn on Kevin Owens too, and Kevin Owens to be the person who kind of gets the comeuppance from all the times he backstabbed somebody. And this whole like turning over a new leaf thing is going to lead to that, and then make him snap, and then maybe it leads to an Orton KO program for a little bit, which I think will be good. Which again, I don't think Owens is ever going to see a world title again. Maybe a mid-card title two more times, but I think at any point he's credible to be in a world title picture.
That I agree with. He always has the credibility there. I think that tag titles might be in his future. I don't think he needs a mid-tier title anymore. It does nothing for him. Where him with like him, Orton, and Cody is a good trio to go up against the Bloodline. They've been doing it forever. That could be a good one to go up against whoever happens to be the tag team title champions in the moment. As
whoever won them that SmackDown before the PLE.
Yeah, whoever. Is it the Tongas, or is it I don't know, like whoever you want to say. The Solo might do a quick little appearance and be part of one of those matches. The one thing I do disagree with you there, Hound, which I thought was an interesting conversation. I don't think Orton's the one that takes the title off of Cody. I'm emphatic that I think it's The Rock that takes the belt off Cody. I think he comes back at the Royal Rumble and he wins it.
You think he wins the title or wins the Royal Rumble?
Wins the Royal Rumble.
I don't want that. You may very well be right.
I usually am. You see the name? It's right in the name.
Well, we're gonna have to see what plays out, because it's technically now we're kind of in the fall. It's now September, and doesn't the NFL kick off this week? And
it does on Thursday, tomorrow.
So
tomorrow, as a film I miss at this point.
Right. So as that goes, we now blink and it's Christmas. So in about 15 seconds, we're going to be at the Royal Rumble anyway. So we'll know here soon enough. This is the time of year that just kind of, for some reason, picks up speed downhill quickly.
I love a really good, way too early prediction, because then I can change my mind. But if I was right, then I could say I called it back then. It's all about how I play the game.
I've known you long enough to understand the way you stat pad just a little bit, my friend.
So what if The Rock uses his final boss powers, and though the Royal Rumble is supposed to be 30, he's magically 31?
I love that.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, like,
absolutely love that.
Like, it's all done. Like, I was just thinking about that. Like, it's the perfect heel move. Like, hey, not only am I big and I'm tough, but I'm still a member of the board. Like, I put myself in here at number 31 when no one thought there was anyone else left. Like, have the countdown start going. It's like, what the hell's going on? Everyone's in. Number 30 just came out.
Do you want to take that heel move to the next level? Have Joe Hendry be the last
person. I was
person,
just going to say that. I was holding my tongue.
The Rock comes out and eliminates Joe Hendry.
Damn it. I was just going to say that. I was going to let you, being a host and trying to be nice, let the guest speak first. This is what happens to Steve all the time.
That's exactly what happens to me.
But that's the perfect move. Joe Hendry wins. Joe Hendry dumps CM Punk over the top rope. He smiles to the crowd and then beep, 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 beep. If you smell. Oh, man. I'm getting goosebumps right now. That's perfect ending. And the
I'm
thing
still,
is, I
I'm
know
still
they're
thinking about
listening.
how he stole your thunder, and now I'm thinking about Braun Breaker all over again.
No, but
I apologize.
I'm happy enough to be gracious and let the guest have that one. But you definitely got me there. Well, I don't know. Do you guys have anything else for the world title match or the?
No, I think that's it for this PLE. Realistically, the
It was a
bash
good
in
show.
Berlin.
It was the quintessential non-tentpole PLE. Nothing really happened. It was a solid card. Very few. Well, for me, very predictable. You almost were under half of the choices there, Steven, which is kind of embarrassing.
A little
But
embarrassing.
60% is cool, right? It's still a passing grade.
You know what? You know what else is embarrassing? How badly European or international crowds are embarrassing American crowds at this point.
I mean, there's a difference though. Like when you only get like kind of sloppy seconds or whatever you want to call this, the like you got to be excited for something.
You got to take something.
Got to be excited.
I actually we talked about this before when because they announced the new commentary team for Raw, so it's Barrett and what's his name, Joe Tessitore, and he goes, you know, Berlin, it reminds me a lot of like a Denver Broncos game, and man, they know how to roar. And he went to like show the crowd to like be like, oh yeah, this is your chance to prove that we can cheer just as loud as Berlin. And it was like, yay.
Just bunch of dumb faces.
Yeah, like it was like Hound said before, it's like, well, everyone in Colorado is high. I'm like, they were high right then and there. Like they like, guys, this is your chance. Cheer a little. It looked like TNA Albany.
Sounds like a TNA Albany crowd. And with that, we want to thank you guys for coming out. I want to give a super special thanks for Hound for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to be in your presence, Hound. Steven, I guess you were here as well. We all really appreciate all the support that you guys have. Tell us what you think about the show. You write it down in the description below. You guys, at this point in time, you know we have all of our social handles. It's all down below. Click, like, subscribe, do whatever it is that you're supposed to do in those situations. We love your support. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys next time, or we'll see you on another time.
And as always, tuck your chin when you bump, guys.